Good evening.
Good evening.
For the part one of our speaking test, the topic of discussion is about maps. Dyval, do you think it's better to use a paper map or a map on your phone and why?
Mm, with me, the digital map is better than a physical map because the digital map can be stored by the digital cloud, and we can just take we can just easily to look at it by our device. But with physical map, we can't take it by in our pocket because physical map is at a very big, yeah, is usually it's very big and it's not easily to put it in our pocket. And big, but digital map is have a advantage point is we need to use Wi-Fi to use the digital map. But that is the minor points about the digital map.
Okay, thank you. When was the last time you needed to use a map? Why or why not?
Well, I was used to use a map about a years ago, but in that time I was have a camping tour and I was use a physical map to find a way to our camping tour.
Okay. If you visit a new city, do you always use a map to find your way? Why or why not?
I think that I usually use a map because map is very useful for us to find a way to our to the place that we need to go. Because in the map that we can easily know the road, the place, and the traffic in that, so we can easily to go to the place that we want.
In general, do you find it easy to read maps? Why or why not?
Mm, one to about the way to read map is have a little difficult because with but in our school we has teach how to read map, so it has just got some little difficult to read map.
Okay, thank you. And that's the end of our part one. Develop for part two, I'd like you to describe an occasion when you had to do something in a hurry. Now, I'd like you to look at the question so you can read it with me. Describe an occasion when you had to do something in a hurry. You should say what you had to do, why you had to do this in a hurry, and how well you did this. And explain how you felt about having to do this in a hurry. For a minute, I'm going to give you a paper and a pen, and you can prepare your answers for a minute. And you can start now. Your 1 minute preparation is over, Deval. Now you're given 2 minutes to describe an occasion when you had to do something in a hurry. You can start now.
I, I was to a very hurry location. Well, I was to the occasion very hurry in about the next week. In that time, is the time for us to take the exam, and in in my memories is the Thursday, and in that day I was wake up very late, and it's about Mm, 15 minutes more is a time for the exam is happening, and I just wake up. And in that time, I just wake up and then just take the breakfast, having having food, take the clothes, uniform clothes, and do anything else. And all of those activities, it take me about 10 minutes. And the way from me to the school is take us take me about 6 minutes. So I can't do it in the 15 minutes. But interestingly, in the time that I arrived at school, I was late 1 minute, but the examiner just is didn't just come, so re- I was just pass and just arrive the class right right the time. My feeling about this is very interestingly because I just arrived school arrive in my class very right the time, and is really great because I doesn't get the examiner to cut me. Yes.
Okay, thank you. And now let's move on to part three. And for part three, the discussion topics are about arriving late and managing study time. What should happen to people who arrive late for work?
Mm, in my point of view, that with a pupil has arrived late, we can just got some, we can just take, no, we can just talk with them and just, the people with us can discuss to talk, and we can easily to tell them about this problem, and they can easily to fix us in the next time.
So, can you suggest how people can make sure they don't arrive late?
Well, there are many ways for us to make sure to don't wake up late. For example, we can just get dream early, and or we can use a alarm clock. Yeah, so we cannot just get wake up lately.
Now, let's move on to managing study time. Deval, what are likely the effects of students not managing their study time well?
There's many effects to them if they not manage time well. For one example of that is they can easily to get make the teacher feeling angry and bad because they didn't do the quest that the teacher has sent to them. Mm, about more example, the student can get um, a very no, they can just spend time for study and spend time for relaxing and playing. So they will cannot control of them. So they can spend too much time on playing game and relaxing. So in that side that they can get the best score, the bad the best score in the school, and they can be study bad because they didn't manage time well.
How important is it for students to have enough leisure time?
Mm, in my opinion, I think that is not too important because the time for we to study, I think is the most important time. Leisure time is for us. First is relaxing. Second is to give a time to development our sports skill or some another skill. So I think that mm, leisure time is not so important.
Anyway, thank you so much for your answers, and that's the end of our speaking time.